And just
subdivisions.
but and I'm glad that you brought that up because 2 years ago, the census came out to all the municipalities and asked them to update all the addresses and categorize all the addresses so that we can prepare for this right now. And then in August, we went and verified to make sure that those addresses were still there and what they were to determine what kind of enumeration we were gonna do.
Because we have those locations get a separate inspection by a specialist inspector at
And
our office.
now, what I could do is, if that's a list that you can share or addresses that you can share, I would be happy to share it with my census folks, the operations team, and let them look at it and make sure that it wasn't missed.
I will get back to you, I will talk to the chief and see what they want to do with that.
Jorge?
So a couple of things that are coming to my mind are, if we want to meet the community where they are, right? We have a lot of barriers that other communities may not have. We have families that don't have transportation, don't know the language. If we want to meet them where they are, we need computers, right? Be able to help them. So that's going to be right there an issue. So how could we do it? I'm thinking in libraries, what comes to my mind, but are the families going to go to a library? So maybe we can work with the library, I don't know, to do an event, but I'm trying to think how are we going to make this happen?
Okay.
We know we have the barriers, we know what is needed.
There's a couple of ways that you could do this. Number one is the library piece. The other thing is that the filling out for the census is going to be mobile device, laptop, and PC friendly. So if you have a mobile device, you'll be able to fill out the census right there on your mobile device.
How long is it going to take to do the form?
The census is saying that it should take about 10 minutes. About 10 minutes. I've seen the questionnaire, and I know at the very beginning, we may stumble through it a little bit, so it may take 12 to 13. But we should,
that's a 10 minutes per person?
that'll be about 10 minutes per person.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's 9 questions. There's 9 questions. So, take your time, assign one person to be the person to fill out the questionnaire, and just let them go for it. And to answer your question, this is where relationships with businesses comes in. Maybe somebody has some technological resources that they could lend. Maybe a laptop, a couple of, iPads or something like that with some good bandwidth. Or the other thing would be having, talking to Rose. Hey, can I stand here and ask people to help them fill out their census? And because you want to go to places where traffic, so where most of my Latinos go, they go to Rose, they go to the mall, they go to restaurants, they shop at the flea markets. So if we're going,
Mi pueblo.
Mi Pueblo, La de Roberto,
Castillo.
Pepe
Pepe Hacienda.
So if we look, and then you got Jorge, you got Susana that's here, you got Chad that's here, they know, where the concentration of Latinos at. So a laptop, a phone, a tablet. And one thing about Jacksonville is that we have enough bandwidth. So it's not like we're in a rural county where we don't have a lot of internet. So no matter where you are in Jacksonville, so you create an event. You create some sort of an event. And make it a caravan. This Saturday we're gonna be on the east side. Next Saturday we're gonna be on the west side. Next Saturday we're gonna be on the south side.
We have that here in our agenda. That's something that we can do and do it, one day, a few groups of people go to different places and do like an event. She have like a census day, something like that we can have. I don't know, probably we can take 3 or 4 different weekends and go out and this week we're gonna be in the beach in the Felix Highway area, something like that. The following weekend we're gonna be in the Orange Park area, something like that.
And if I may say, you may want to do an event just when we get ready to kick everything off, when people start filling stuff out, maybe that very first weekend. But then wait till after the results start coming out,
Right.
so you can be very strategic as to, okay, right around Emerson and Phillips, I'm not having a lot of movement there, I'm gonna do an event there. Maybe talk to Walmart right there on Phillips Highway.
But that information is gonna be public?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to a portal. You're gonna go to a portal, that's gonna tell you by track exactly how Jacksonville is doing. And right now, the magic number for self-respond in Jacksonville, we're hoping to be 75% mail-back response rate. In 2000, we had 73. In 2010, we had a 72 mail-back response rate. And what that means is that the number of people that filled out the census and send it back in. So we can get up to 75%, I think we'll be good. 3% more people to respond to the census. We're gonna knock on some people's doors.
Okay.
But we're trying to make that number as small as possible. Hey, Mario. Happy belated birthday. So that's what we're looking at. So when you look at it strategically, you're gonna have the tools in place to be able to decide where you wanna descend on. Maybe talking to Rose in advance, because you know that there's traffic there. Your Beach Boulevard Flea Market, your Ramona Flea Market are the two flea markets that on one on the west side, one on the east side. And then if you do Rose on Blanding, you're covering Blanding just before it goes into Clay County. So that's gonna cover your west side pocket. So strategically, you determine, this is the areas where I know I'm gonna get. And if you wanna do a church, then there's the connection to all the churches right there, Susana. So she'll be able, Pastor Fune has a big church right here on Beach Boulevard. That's a mega church. Jaramillo has a mega church on the west side. So you got strategic locations that now the media comes together and makes this an event. In Mississippi, what brought the people was food. Food brought the people. I would go to an event and there would be 50, 60, 70 people there, but we promised them food and they showed up and they listened. And it was heartwarming because we celebrated the release of a few detainees. Right there on the spot, we celebrated detainees that were released that week. And I went there without any expectations, but I was pretty humbled when I left because very hardworking people, all they want to do is go to work and come home. And they just, when we went to talk about the census, and what made it work was that the pastor of the church that I went to agreed to make that church a sanctuary. So his congregation was going to come to that church on a specific day, and they were all going to fill out the census together and be done with it. They were going to come with their letters, fill out the census, and be done. As a congregation in a safe place where they felt comfortable and they trusted the people.
You bring up a good point there, though, about the safety and the people being, I think that's the biggest source of pushback, especially among undocumented or people who might think that the information is going to be shared and they're going to be, somehow they're going to get a negative handout.
Correct.
And are there any strategies or resources that the census has prepared for this? Because I think that's important for us. I need for you guys to go on our channel now and say, it's safe, come on, don't worry about it. And more than that, reach in there.
And I will tell you that my suggestion there, I would do it, and I'll do it in a heartbeat because they've taken my gag off. I just finished doing a show today.
Good.
So that I can speak about the census now. So,
Got a witness here.
but, it's the Mario de Cuntos of the world. It's the Jorges, it's the Susis, it's the Maribis, it's the Pastor Funes of the world, the Jose Monfantes of the world, the Jaramillos of the world, the Tomas Jimenez of the world. Those are the folks, the Eds of the world, the Emens of the world, the people that even if we can get at the Pastor Rodolfo from the Catholic Church, if we can get those folks to come and do, tienen el censo que es seguro y privado y confidencial, lo digo yo, el Padre Rodolfo,
It's a blessing.
it's done. Omni Domini is done. That's what we need. We need those leaders that are going to embrace it and say, we need to do it because it's for the betterment of our community. I'm concerned if I had one because I think that we're going to do well. I'm more concerned about people not participating because the whole community is gonna suffer. The whole community is gonna suffer. It's gonna suffer because we're not gonna get those benefits that we're looking for, the benefits that we need as a community as a whole. And we need those leaders to do that. We got plenty of time. I think we could do it. And everybody's here. I think the only media that's not here is Norton, right? The only one that's not here is Norton Media. So, from a social media perspective, we have all those communities, you know, Latinos, we got Colombianos, we got all the communities. And now here's an opportunity for the mayor's Hispanic American Advisory Board to come to the table with all the organizations and come up with a strategy. And the strategy is simple. You know where people are at. You know where people are at. Do a Census Day outreach as a community. I think that would be great if we did one April 1st event. And it doesn't have to be at a big magnitude. I would love to see something at Pato Funes Church, because those are the safe havens, those are the sanctuaries that people trust. Remember, they're gonna go to people trust. The American Immigrant Lawyers Association, they're a statewide sanctuary for immigrants. They're partnering up with the census. They're gonna be sanctuaries and safe havens for those folks that come to them for information, because they trust those immigrant lawyers. Thanks to Andrea Reyes, who connected me with them. So then they're gonna become a partner. So across the state, the American Immigrant Lawyers Association is gonna be a sanctuary. The Deltas are helping out. You know, that's a fraternity that is helping us with getting into the schools and stuff like that. And we have to have folks that people trust, stakeholders that people trust. Any other questions?
Victor, so who takes the lead to gather the leaders we're talking about and create the video? Is that something that will be done through Mayhab, or how?
Mayhab.
Okay.
So I know that, the company in charge of the marketing will be reaching out to the media, but I discussed with the city to doing a video with key leaders in the Hispanic community. So I need to wait and see if it's gonna be done through that company and they will reach out to us, but I will follow up with that.
And
So
how is that going to be distributed?
So I am counting on the media, the social media, the regular media, the radio, and personal pages. If you want to share it, that's the only way we are going to be able to get to the community.
So besides that, besides what they're making, that agency as such, let's go ahead and find something. You can come to our station, record something, get as many people
That's what I'm
going.
gonna ask you.
Well, one day, whoever you guys want to bring, the more the merrier. If they speak English, he does a really good job translating. Let's go. But we need to go ahead and and then we'll distribute that on Facebook, YouTube, send it out to everybody and share it. Last week, the week before, we promoted a Zumbaton. Zumbaton, we did two weeks in a row. The first week, somebody who really came late to the, but she promoted it well. We put the little 4-minute segment on, and she had like 100 people share it. It reached like 3,000 people within a couple of days. The second week, those people did not share it. And now it reached like 800. Okay? So it's up to us. Once we record the show, we got material, and just send it out. And make little memes out of it, of anything, but just to have it in front of people's faces all the time.
Right.
And just, go ahead.
And maybe because my background in the health field and the families that I work with that don't have maybe a lot of education or they don't have access to computers and all that, my concern is, you know, when you have something that you have to fill out and you don't know how to read very well, even if it's in your own language. I was hoping to do something that will explain very well the form. This is what you do, this is what blah, 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 step by step, and then say, if you're gonna do it, this is where we're gonna meet. Come see us at the flea market this day. That's where we're gonna be there from this time to this time. So, hopefully we can work on something like that.
Mary?
I've seen some simplified videos of the census. Like, I don't know where I saw it, maybe you sent it to me. It didn't look too complicated. They made it look very, very simple on the steps. Maybe we can get our hands on that video.
To fill out the form?
Yeah. Like,
There's a lot of, if you go to the 2020 census or just the Census Bureau, it's a bunch of videos and stuff there. There is a video that shows how to fill out the form. So when we get ready to really go activate filling out that form, I have a video that we can look at and study it and show people and explain to them. But to your point, and this is something that Chad can help us with, because he has the video, he has the cameras, and Jose can help us with as well, is that, sitting there and explaining to the people, what is asked and why is asked. I think that the why is asked will really go a long way. Why are we asking you your age? Why are we asking you where you live? When somebody asks me, why you want to know my name and where I live? And I just said, remember Hurricane Katrina? And they said, yeah. I said, well, people in Hurricane Katrina lost everything. And the only way that they were able to get their information back was through the Census Bureau. Because if you're undocumented, the only place that there's information for you is at the census, if you fill out the census. That doesn't share it with anybody. And the Census Bureau is an agency that has not only your information, but the information of your family going back. And we're just now, if you go and look at our information publicly, you're only gonna find 1940 data, because we don't share your information for 72 years. The 1950 data is not gonna be released till 2022. So there's a reason why we ask for that information, for future planning and also to protect you as well. But to Ed's point, I think while we're waiting on the city to decide which direction they're gonna go, I think that if we start recording videos, like when we did the voting, cuando hicimos lo de votar, que Nancy, tú, Mario, Paredes, everybody came to the station and recorded, and those numbers went up. So we need those voices to come, and that's something that could be organized through the organization. Have it and start sharing it. Share it through everybody. And then once the media buy comes through, whatever they decide that they're gonna do, it would just complement what we're doing. Because we're not gonna be able to do this just with media buys alone. This is gonna have to be, aquí hay que usar de todo, tambores, humo, tabaco, lo que sea, to get the word out to people. We have to use everything. We have to use it all. Because it's a lot of people scattered all over the place in the largest city and square miles in the US. And it's people that don't want to necessarily be reached.
So I would like to set some goals, so we have something concrete, right? So I would like to, we're gonna work on the videos, so we can do whatever we have to do
Within the next 2 weeks.
to post and all of that. So we are gonna do that through the media, but then I would like to see 2 events in the community
When is your event?
that are census related.
He's already gonna be there.
So one at the beginning, and then we wait for the results. And then I would like to, I know we have a voter registration table already for August 22nd. If you know of another event that you think it will allow us to have a voter registration table there, please reach out to me and we'll request it to you.
What's the 22nd?
August 22nd,
Oh, August 22nd?
August 22nd is the voter registration.
Yes, the August 22nd is going to be the Jax Community Fair, and it's going to be in the UNF in the Adams building.
So if we can find another event where we can have another table, that would be great. I would like to see that too. And at least to start with, because we don't know the numbers, we don't know how we're gonna do it or anything like that. One census event in April, and wait a little bit more, see where we are, and maybe do one in May, June, July.
I would do one in March,
Okay,
just to let people know that the census is coming, or just to ask them. If you do it before the 12th, which I think is too soon, you're gonna tell them the census is coming. If you do it between the 12th and the 20th, which I would say probably that first weekend after the 20th, which is about 3 weeks away from now, then you're asking them, did you get your invitation for the census? And then how you could, maybe we could be ready to help them fill it out. And then the following week is when the results will start coming out, and you can start looking at, okay, what areas have been affected the most.
so the end of March, you think it will be better?
I would say right after the 12th, and then once the results start coming out, then you can strategize to do something right around April timeframe. And if you don't do an event per se, the 1st of April, make some noise the 1st of April. Make noise. All the communities together at one time, everybody, at 12 o'clock or at 1 o'clock or at siesta time, everybody, all the communities, all the organizations come together and send out some sort of message at the same time you know, everybody synchronize their watches and everybody sends out a message at the same time. Jose, Sheila, Susie, Jorge, Chad, everybody, we all send out a census. If we're not gonna do an event on April 1st, reminding the community, don't forget to count us. And then do an event, because then by then you would have a strategy and you would know what the results are and where we're gonna have to descend like we descended on the beach in Normandy. So you'll be able to look and see what areas, is it the south side, is it the north side, is it the east side, and then come up with a strategic plan as to where we're gonna be. And then maybe do one right around the 1st of April, see how things, second week or so, and then keep looking after that. But then that'll give you time for the whole team, for the team to get together. And to Ed's point, by then we would know what kind of buy there's gonna be. But we gotta take care of ourselves. As Latinos, we gotta take care of ourselves, So we have to make sure that we're not gonna wait for them to come and write us a check, because we know that at the end of the day, 10 years from now, we will say, hey, we did everything we could to count the population, and we succeeded. And
Victor, what's the value per person? More or less. And if we can drive the value per person, so let's assume there's, 100,000 people will be here? And what's the value, 10,000?
No, the value per person is, and I'm not supposed to share this, so I can't deny it because you're recording it, but it's $1,445 per person. It's the per capita, according to George Washington University, of the funding that comes into the state.
$1,400?
$1,445 per person per year. So if you miss 100 people, that's $1.4 million of funding that Duval County doesn't get over a 10-year period. 100 people.
So I think it's important to quantify the value that the Hispanic community is associated with it and the impact that it would have.
I agree. And if it comes from you and not from me, perfect. Because as an employee of the federal government, I can't do that, but you can. You have the resources, you have it. So use those numbers. I tell you what, Gainesville did it. Gainesville figured out that they missed out on $400 million worth of funding in the last census.
I think people react to dollars.
Absolutely.
And I think it needs to be quantified, and I think the reaction would be much better.
I agree.
So, love that, I love that. Numbers, money speaks, right?
Yep.
And the whys. Sometimes, people, even if it's money, but how is that money gonna be used? But if I tell you that your child may not have health coverage because you didn't register,
Correct.
that may hurt a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
So money, the whys have to be there in any piece of education that we provide. And this is when you all come into place, because we cannot do this, and go out 3 weekends and work and have families and try to do what we do. So we're gonna need your help, and maybe we can set up a time when we say, okay, this is the day that this is gonna happen, who can attend this day, who can help this day, and the next day, who can help that day. So we spread, spread the joy a little bit. So we all participate, we're all active. Everyone in this room is pretty much very well known in the community. So I think that we all have a possibility to make a difference. So what we're gonna do, you will see an email, a follow-up email from me. Give me a few days. I am very busy like this, so give me a few days, but it will happen. You will see an email, and with the information, what we decide to do, what day we're gonna pick up, and what the strategies are gonna be for our next month. And we'll do it. We're gonna make it happen.
Any other questions for me? Yes, ma'am.
Say you're helping people fill out the census. Is there a way to verify if they've already done it? Like, say they're not sure, they can't remember if they filled something out. Do you just go ahead and register them anyway?
If the system will take, because the system has been set up that it's by address, okay? So if your address is populated, it may take it, but then it'll spit it out, is my understanding. And I'm not 100% sure of that, but I will verify. But that's a very good question. But if they're not sure if they filled it out and they try it, because I'm not sure if the system is gonna kick it out, but it's by address, so I'm thinking that the system will kick it out if it's already been captured, because once you get done, you're gonna get a certificate that says you completed the census. Yeah.
So who is going to follow up with like the Trinities of the world to make sure that that takes place?
As far as,
For the rest commission, so you have 30, 40, 50 families there, and some of them come in and out. Who is gonna take the lead to assure, because it's gonna be up to that organization to motivate people to do it.
correct.
Who's responsible for doing that?
Our operations team, our census field managers, their number one priority right now is to reach out to those Trinity Baptists of the world, because you're talking about folks that are living in Trinity Baptist, so they fall under the
So
group
there's
four.
two components, one that lives there, and the other one we call the overnighters, so they come in and out, so.
So our census field operations team and our census field managers, they're reaching out to the Trinity Baptists of the world for the group quarters, all right, and also for the transitional camp. Those are two major operations that are going on as we speak. They're starting that whole process right now. They're starting that process. Any other questions? So I know this is clear as mud to everybody, but at the end of the day, it's about making sure that our population gets counted and you're the folks that can help it. Now, you look around the room and see who's not here, who's missing, who's not at the table. Those are the people that we need to reach out to help us, that has bandwidth. Those are the folks that we need to reach out to help with whatever you decide to do for the Latino community. Yes.
Question for the chair, thank you. Chair, how do we get the front and back key points sheet for our enrolled donations table so that we can share that with everyone who comes out to us?
So what would you like?
Yes, that exactly. If that has everything that we need, key points.
Well, this talks about the importance of the census, when the census is in front, is in Spanish, and in the back is in English.
And we know we received a copy of the last meeting, but if we could, maybe, or I can come to your office and pick up a box so that we can have it at the World Nations and other
Are you guys gonna be there already?
Yeah.
You're gonna be there.
We're gonna, but hey,
The more the
the
merrier.
more, the merrier.
Right, but we could send people to your table, like we run out, right?
Cause I'll have different stuff too. I'm gonna try to have different stuff. I really wanna focus on folks knowing what to expect moving forward. Because we know the census is important. Now I want you to know what to expect, that you're gonna get an invitation, that you're gonna get 3 reminders, and after the 4th reminder, somebody's gonna knock on your door, and then we're asking you to please self-enumerate. And the other thing is that the more people that self-enumerate, the more tax dollars we save. For every 1% of folks that self-enumerate, it's in the billions of dollars that are saved for people that you don't send out to knock on the doors.
Okay, so please look forward to getting an email from us, and we're gonna need your help, so we'll send out, I don't know if we'll do like a calendar or something like that, so if you can help, please help us, because we're gonna need you. Any other questions?
Yeah, while Marivy's doing that, I would encourage you to be thinking about other folks that can help you with this bandwidth outreach that connect to Latinos. That you could just send them a simple email, say, hey, can you share this information? Right now, I will tell you, JEA is sending out a couple of taglines on their bill. We're talking to Comcast about doing the same thing. I'm having a meeting with JTA on Thursday to talk about what bus stops and what kind of inventory they're gonna give me. Now, I'm looking at the zip codes, so I wanna do something in Spanish. So maybe that would be the perfect time to put the face of somebody on a bus stop that people recognize, maybe the one on St. John's Bluff and Beach, in Spanish, because we have that big old trailer park area, and we have the Beach Boulevard Flea Market, and we have a lot of traffic that goes east and west on Beach and St. John's Bluff. So depending on where they're giving me these bus stops or whatever inventory they're giving me, then I'll be coming back and say, okay, I need a leader that's gonna take a picture and give a message so we can put it up somewhere. Cause they'll give us the inventory, but they're expecting us to do the artwork.
Or you can have the whole family, not only one person. It's better if you can have the whole family for that, because that gives the information everybody need to count in your
Absolutely.
household.
Absolutely, I agree. I was thinking more of a community leader, but I see where you're going.
But you can have a community leader with the whole
That
family.
makes perfect sense.
That.
And maybe you come up with a tagline, Chad, come up with a tagline, you know, todos contamos, o vivo cuenta, o contamos individual. Come up with something catchy that you could, because you have from now until August, pretty much, to make sure that the population is counted.
Have you reached out to Winn-Dixie and Publix?
Yes, we reached out to Winn-Dixie, reached out to Publix, still kind of waiting, because we talked to Walmart to get them to do the back of registered receipts. ViStar Credit Union is tagging their newsletter, they're tagging their bills. Life Credit Union, that Ms. Rose Gunter, she is all in. So if you wanna do, maybe she could be a perfect location to do mobile questionnaire assistance.
I endorse them, so I could definitely, I'm going to them tomorrow, so I
So
can
when you
reach
talk to
something out.
Christian, well, Rose and I spoke, so she's all in, so just say, hey, you know, we just met yesterday, can, you know, how many of your branches, can we use your Southside branch or your Atlantic branch if we need it to help fill out the census? There's a location right there for you. One on the south side and then one in Atlantic. So, and those of us that have, and those of us that have technological resources, let's bring them in on board. Yes, sir.
I mean, the other area of opportunity is you have how many universities locally? How many schools we have here? That we have active Hispanic groups there. They are
Very good.
passionate and energetic. Why not leverage them to become our resources to help us deploy?
And they need it.
Especially in UNF, every Wednesday, they have their market day.
They do.
You could have a table, you could speak to the Hispanic,
And get them engaged
Man.
to help you with the filling out of the census.
Absolutely.
So maybe reaching out to Lasso and UNF, and yes, sir.
Can international students,
Absolutely.
Spanish? Yeah, I think that would be like,
Yep.
they may see a sign for census and just keep walking.
Right,
They might even know. So
absolutely.
it would be good to reach out, like Ed was saying.
And getting them now, because they're getting ready to go, you know, school ends in May. Getting them now, you know, they may have some community service, necessities and obligations.
JU has a big volunteer. They're always looking for kids for the volunteer program.
So you, now, Marilee, you can start looking at maybe breaking up your team into committees. You know, have a college committee and, you know, and just giving them mandates.
I might be able to get like a table at the different Rose supermarket.